Locked Memories, the tale of Emily's disappearance. What would you do if you uncovered a secret that was never meant to be found? What if that discovery led to a journey where everything you knew would change forever tonight? We unravel the terrifying tale of Emily, a young girl who stumbled upon a hidden truth buried deep within her family's history. As the night unfolds, you'll question everything about memory, loss, and the price of curiosity. Stick with me till the end, and don't forget to subscribe for more stories that will haunt your dreams. It was supposed to be a fresh start. Emily's parents had always longed for a quiet life in the countryside. After years of living in a busy city apartment, they decided to move to a small village where life moved slower and the air felt cleaner. When they found the house on the outskirts of town, a large, aging Victorian cottage, they jumped at the opportunity. The price was too good to pass up. The house, though old, was beautiful. It had an eerie charm, ivy creeping up the stone walls, creaky floorboards that seemed to whisper when stepped on, and a sprawling garden that appeared to have been forgotten by time. Emily and her younger brother Danny were initially thrilled. They imagined long walks in the woods, family dinners by the fire, and quiet nights under the stars. But as soon as they moved in, strange things began to happen. At first, they were subtle, unexplainable noises late at night, the occasional item missing or moved. Emily, always more sensitive to the atmosphere than her younger brother, began to feel uneasy. Emily's parents, caught up in the excitement of their new life, dismissed her concerns. "Old houses make strange sounds," her father would say. "It's just the wind," her mother would insist. But Emily couldn't shake the feeling that something wasn't right. She'd hear soft padding footsteps when she was alone, and sometimes she'd catch glimpses of fleeting shadows out of the corner of her eye. The first time she felt truly unsettled was when she found her bedroom window wide open one morning, despite having locked it the night before. Her parents didn't think much of it, but Emily couldn't ignore the growing sensation that someone or something was watching her. At night, she would lie awake, her eyes fixed on the dark corners of her room, waiting for any movement. The shadows seemed to shift on their own. She would hear whispers, faint and unintelligible, but when she called out, no one answered. One day, while Emily was helping her father sort through boxes in the basement, she found something strange, a large, ancient-looking chest hidden under a pile of old furniture. The chest was bound with thick iron chains, and the lid was adorned with an intricate pattern of symbols. It looked as though it hadn't been touched in decades. Her father, busy with unpacking, barely gave it a glance. "Probably some old junk," he muttered, clearly uninterested. But Emily's curiosity couldn't let it go. The chest seemed to call to her, as if it held something far more important than just dust and memories. That night, Emily couldn't stop thinking about it. She felt an irresistible pull toward the chest. What was inside? Why was it locked up so tightly? And why did it feel like it held the answers to questions she hadn't even asked yet? Her dream that night was unsettling. She dreamt she was standing in front of the chest in the basement. As she reached out to open it, a cold gust of wind blew through the room, snuffing out the lights. The chest creaked open, revealing nothing but darkness, a vast, empty void that seemed to swallow everything around it. Then she felt something, cold, skeletal fingers wrapping around her wrist, pulling her into the chest. She woke up screaming, her heart racing, drenched in sweat. Despite the disturbing dream, Emily couldn't shake the feeling that the chest held something crucial. The next day, when her parents were out, she sneaked down to the basement again. This time, she didn't hesitate. Using a pair of pliers and a crowbar, she broke open the chains. Inside, she found an old, weathered leather journal. The moment she touched it, she felt a wave of nausea, as though something was warning her not to read it. But she couldn't stop herself. The journal belonged to a woman named Clara, the previous owner of the house. At first, the entries were normal, describing her excitement about moving into the house and her life with her family. But as Emily turned the pages, the tone shifted. Clara's entries grew more erratic and desperate. She wrote about hearing strange sounds, whispers that came from within the walls, footsteps in the hallway when no one was there. One entry in particular caught Emily's eye. "I shouldn't have opened the chest. It was a mistake. It knows I opened it. It's been watching me ever since. I can feel it getting closer every day, its presence growing stronger. I don't know if I can escape. It will take me just like it took the others. Please, someone help me." The final entry was chilling. "It's too late. I hear it in my room. It's standing right beside my bed. The darkness has come to claim me. I'm not safe here anymore." Emily quickly slammed the journal shut, her hand shaking. She tried to push the chest back into place, but the room felt colder, the air thicker. The whispers were louder now, like they were coming from the very walls themselves. From that night onward, things began spiraling out of control. Emily couldn't escape the feeling that the house was alive, breathing with a dark energy. The whispers in the walls became more distinct, no longer just background noise, but voices, arguing, whispering her name, calling her toward the darkness. She started having vivid nightmares of a shadowy figure following her, watching her every move. When she woke up, she found strange marks on her skin, scratches, bruises, as if someone had touched her in her sleep. She tried to tell her parents, but they were oblivious. "You're just stressed," her mother said, brushing it off. "You're imagining things," her father added. Even Danny, her younger brother, started mocking her. "Maybe the house is haunted, like in those old movies." He laughed. But Emily knew better. This was something far worse than a simple haunting. One fateful evening, Emily woke to the sound of the floorboards creaking in her room. She sat up, her heart racing, and saw a figure standing in the doorway. It was tall, shrouded in shadow, its outline constantly shifting. "Who are you?" Emily whispered, her voice trembling. The figure didn't answer. It just stood there, its dark presence suffocating the room. Slowly, it began to move toward her. As it came closer, Emily's fear intensified, but she couldn't move. Her body was frozen, as if the figure's very presence had paralyzed her. When it finally reached her, its icy hand touched her face, and everything went black. The next morning, Emily was gone. Her family carried on with their lives as if nothing had changed. Her room was empty, her belongings had vanished, and no one remembered her. Photos that had once adorned the walls, including the ones with Emily in them, were now blank. It was as if she had never existed. Even her parents, who had once held her close, now went about their daily routines without a second thought of her. In the basement, the chest sat closed, its chains reattached, and the warning carved into its lid was now even clearer, as if it had been waiting for this moment. What happened to Emily? Why was she erased from existence? Was it the chest, the house, or something darker at work here? Could it happen to anyone who dares to uncover what's better left hidden? Let me know your theories in the comments below. If you want to hear more tales that will keep you up at night, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. Join me for more chilling stories that might make you think twice about what's lurking in the shadows.